Marcus worked 412 hours of overtime in 1 year. His manager deleted every single one of them from the system and told him, smiling, that without records, there was nothing anyone could do.
What that manager didn't know is that Marcus had spent 6 years working one floor below the payroll department, and payroll keeps backups of everything. By the end of this story, that smile is gone, a courtroom is involved, and the deleted hours are worth triple.
Here's how it happened. Marcus was the kind of employee every warehouse depends on and no executive ever meets. 11 years at the same distribution center. First one in when a truck came early, last one out when the system crashed. He didn't do it for praise. He did it because his daughter was starting college in 2 years, and overtime at time and a half was the plan. Every extra hour went into a savings account with her name on it. Then came Brent, new regional manager, 31 years old, hired to optimize labor costs. Within a month, Brent figured out the fastest way to make his numbers look good, the overtime budget. He couldn't stop the overtime from happening. Trucks don't wait. So he found another way. At the end of each pay period, hours started disappearing. 2 here, 5 there. Always explained away. System glitch. You must have clocked in wrong. I'll look into it. Marcus's paychecks got thinner while his shifts got longer. At first, Marcus did what most people do. He doubted himself. Maybe he had forgotten to clock in. But Marcus was a careful man. He started keeping a notebook in his locker. Date, clock in, clock out, witness if there was one. After 3 months, his notebook said 87 hours of overtime. His pay stubs said 31. He went to Brent, calm, respectful, notebook in hand. And Brent did something that turned a payroll dispute into a war. He laughed. A notebook? Marcus, the system is the record. And the system says you're mistaken. Then he leaned in and said the sentence he would later hear read back to him under oath. Without records, there's nothing anyone can do. Here's what Brent didn't know. Before the warehouse, Marcus had spent 6 years doing facility maintenance in the office building next door, including the floor that housed payroll and IT. He'd fixed their air conditioning, moved their server racks, listened to their lunch conversations. And one thing he remembered, clear as day, from a sysadmin complaining about storage costs. The timekeeping system ran automatic nightly backups, retained for 7 years. Off-site, nobody at branch level, not even a regional manager, could touch them. Brent wasn't deleting records. He was editing one copy of them and leaving his fingerprints on every change. Remember that smile. It has about 90 days left. Marcus said nothing. He apologized to Brent for the confusion and watched the relief on Brent's face. Then he got methodical. He filed a written request with HR for his complete time records, in writing, certified mail, exactly as the State Labor Board's website recommended. He kept working the overtime. He kept the notebook going. And he found 2 co-workers whose pay stubs had the same disease, including Elena, who'd been quietly photographing the clock-in screen every shift for a year. Then he filed a wage claim with the State Labor Board. Not a lawsuit, a claim. Quiet, administrative, devastating. Because a wage claim gives the state the power to demand the employer's complete time records, including backups. The subpoena requested 7 years of nightly backups from the timekeeping vendor. The vendor complied in 4 days. The backups showed every original clock out and an edit log, every deletion, every altered entry.
each one stamped with the same user ID, B. Kowalski. 11:47 p.m., the night before payroll closed. Every single period. Wage theft with documented intent isn't a payroll error. In Marcus's state, it meant liquidated damages. Triple the stolen wages. $51,000 in stolen overtime became $153,000 owed. The company's lawyers settled within weeks because the edit log made trial unwinnable. Marcus, Elena, and 19 other employees the audit uncovered. Brent wasn't fired for the theft. Ironically, he was fired for the email the audit also found, where he'd bragged to another manager about his labor savings method. Marcus's settlement covered his daughter's first 2 years of college outright. He still works at the warehouse. He still keeps the notebook, not because he needs it, because the new manager knows he does. 1. A paper trail beats a confident voice every time. Marcus lost every conversation and won the war, because conversations evaporate and certified mail doesn't. 2. Systems remember what people delete. Edits leave logs, backups outlive managers, and the person who knows the infrastructure beats the person who only knows the org chart. 3. The quietest legal option is often the strongest one. He never sued. He filed a form. If you've ever been told there's no record of that, subscribe, because every story on this channel ends with a receipt. Next story. A man forges his own mother's will and inherits everything, not knowing that notaries keep copies, and that his sister was about to find the original. That one ends at a reading of the will you have to hear. See you there.